Projects today. Taco is enjoying Bugs Bunny. He was just left. Ugh. Gotta get my stand in here to lock in correctly. Turn it off. That has to be cleaned out today. Gotta clean that out. Gotta clean out the filters today. Get them all cleaned out. And gotta vacuum the lid area over there. Get that all cleaned up. All right. So, yeah, I got multiple projects I'm working on today. I got wire management on one PC over here. The wire management on this thing. And I have to finish building the rest of the detail and the crooked chimney for the medieval clock tower has to be done. I got the measurements all ready to go and ordered the panels already. They should be here Monday for my dual 235.1 screens that roughly can do 120 inch. Which is kind of weird. Oh yeah, I forgot. It does 120 inch. Because again, it's roughly, no. 120 inch should have to be 5 feet by 9 feet. So we would be roughly under 120 inches. Because they're 48. The measurements, we got 48. Let me see. Where's my measuring tape at? So the tile system works for what we needed to do, and we have just enough room to do it. To put it in. Where's my freaking measuring tape at? Just enough to put it in because it is each tile is 24 by 36. So the last one I put together, I did 24 all the way across. It got me 96 inches, which is about 8 inches. This one has to be done differently. The frame, all this has to be turned around that way. So that way we had the length of it by 36 and the height of it by 24. But by stacking them on top of each other, we have 48 inches, and the size we need from Projector Central with the projector we're getting, we need 42. So we cover. These screens are 9 feet tall, 9 feet long, because they're 235.1. But I'm seeing if we're doing, let's see, 100-inch screen is 4 feet by 7 feet. 4 feet by 7 feet. That's what I need to calculate. I need to calculate exactly, if we change it to 16.9, what is the actual screen we're going to get at 16.9? Why do I always put my measuring tape up? Never can figure out exactly where to stick this thing at. That's what we have to figure out. So it should be roughly 100, maybe 106 inches. We'll have to play with if we're doing it in 16.9 because not everything applies to 235.1. So you have to figure exactly what your end screen is going to be when you switch over your aspect ratio. Gee, I screw this up all the time. But we didn't remember to put that back of all things. That didn't put back. That's that. Top of that, we have the medieval tower we're working on today. I got my cardboard ready to go for that. And I got to do wire management on one of the other PCs. We're going to install another outtake fan for the power supply because we're going to get ready to crystallize that system with the what are we building? What tank we got to build in there? We got to put in a I can't think of the name of that, liquid nitrogen tank in that one, which of course is a fake. And then the other PC over here, which has the flowers on it, we got to put the centers on that so it smells, and we have to do another bit of a paint job on that one. And I put in another fan. I put in the RGB over top the original fan that was already in there to give another kind of a cool effect for the hard drive. I had to go online and get some information on what happens if you put a another fan over top your power supply, which I want to do. I've done that before. Now they'll tell you at the end of the day, if you put another fan over top your power supply, it's going to cause some conflicts. It doesn't. If you have open case is a different category of PC. When you're having closed case, then you have air restriction. That's why you have to have all those fans in there to flow air back and forth. Open case doesn't apply to any of that. So I do want to put a nice little special effect because I definitely want to put a light there, but I don't want to be going inside. my unit, which I already been in there already. Measurement tape. Seriously? It's the one thing that we use the most. I lose the most. Not there. You always pick the wrong place to go find a battle with your fish. Oh, it's over here. To have a battle with your fish. Always the wrong place to have a battle with your fish. Exactly where I have to move at. All right, you get stepped on. That's you, Mr. Jacko. Always right there by my chair. Tail all extended out for me to step on. All right, let me see. So we have to be at 42. We'll have 48 to play around with. 48. We have to be at 42. Yeah, so roughly 48 inches is about is 4 feet. So 4 feet by 8 feet. We got the screens are 9 feet long, but 4 feet by 8 feet. I have 100-inch screens. Yeah. So I know it sounds kind of crazy. If the screens are 108 inches and we get 100 something in between, the 235s are different because they're longer screens. That's why they're bigger, because they're longer. It's a longer screen. So at least I get to watch everything in cinema mode for a change. And the projectors I'm picking up are ViewSonics, and they're only going to cost me roughly 130 bucks. All right, got my cardboard all cut up. That's for already aside for that. I'm gonna go pick up me some more glue sticks. I want to do my modification for my PC. One of the fans died. I don't know what happened to it, but the light system stopped running on one of them. But I have bunches of fans, so I'm gonna put that one over there, which is good because all that light won't be pushing up over there. There are 5. The fans that use 5,000 RPMs are pretty loud, but on top of that, they are super bright. We have to do wire management today. I got to get all that cleaned up. This is the small stuff that has to be done. Get out of there. So this may be really boring, trust me. This is what I have to do when I come in to tidy up my machines and make sure everything's running nice and well. So we're running this fan back there because we're going to frost this whole thing. I already ordered the ice cubes. Everything's coming in. So we're going to frost this baby. So all this has to be cleaned up nicely. And I had to figure out exactly. Oh, there's a SATA drive right there. We're not running anything extra on that, so we don't even need that. Right there, that's some Molex. I need to run from the back. So let's see. Do we have any more of those? Oh, see, that's what I told you. Literally told you. See, I told you. My chair rolled over his tail. He's got to have this little fight with the thing right in front of my chair. I knew that was going to happen. Yep, you'll learn this time. You'll learn, won't you? You got rolled over with the chair. See? Every time he has that little battle with that fish, he puts it right by my chair. My chair moves back and forth because I have to go grab stuff. I move back and forth, caught his tail. I knew it was going to happen. He'll learn. He'll learn. Now I should have, at this whole entire floor over here, which is his little playground, he can fight that fish anywhere he wants. He does it exactly right next to the chair. So if I go move and he sees the chair coming, he don't move. That's true that they feel they have a self-entitlement. They don't have to move. He's all right. He just won't do it again. You have no idea how many times I'm going down the stairs and literally the sucker will be laying right under the staircase while I'm carrying something heavy down the stairs. It won't move. And I've stepped on him a couple of times by accident, so yep, he'll learn this time. Next time you want to have battle with fish, have fish battle way over there. Let me see. I already just said that a few minutes ago. Don't have your battles right next to my chair. I gotta move my chair back and forth. Matter of fact, this is my area right here. It should not be in my area. Let's see. Screws are going to be high enough so they don't hit the leaks. This one's actually good, but we need higher ones than this one. What do we have in the box over there? All this room, we choose is right there to have this battle. Now on, when you have your little battles over here, and if you don't listen, you're hard-headed. You're little by the chair, don't listen. But it doesn't happen again. I'll have to basically just push him off so he'll learn to have his battles over there. All right, wires. Cords, cables. mine, the ones over here for the numbers, I think I'll put those back. Go ahead and, this is one right here. I think the set of He doesn't do it all the time. He does it the minute I come on camera. It's like clockwork. He goes and quite close to the tail. I do warn him, don't do that there. Easy way to get stepped on. What are you going to? I don't need you. I need a bolt system. That's what I need. Right, what do we have with this? These two match? Not quite precise. Let me see. We're bouncing like a cardiac tooth. This is small, so it's definitely for the plants. That one rough. Oh, we still got thermal paste in here? Really? Alright. I should order my fans for my Fallout PC. So I get to working on those. Let's see how much they want for those. Ordering set of fans. We just need the black ones. That's all we need. We don't need anything special because I'm doing all the lighting system in the fans and everything, so I need all that stuff. Alright, big question. You found them, you lost them. Where did we put them at? It should be in the box. It should have been in the box. I'll be happy with 3. We get 2 of them there. Is that 2? Or no, that's 2. Isn't it 2? No. We have 4 for that one on that side. Should be that with the icicles, is really true. That would have been better with the icicles. Alright, what are you? Or what size? Actually, you're perfect with that. So we got 2 of them. 3 of them. And so I'm looking for the post that I need to attach the fans. One for the power supply and the other one for the hard drive. Over there, I want to put an RGB in to match the fans that I have over. Keep the other one intact. We have 2 fans running at the same time, dual exhaust system. How do you do it? What trigger are you going to? Oh, this is the other cable to L. Yeah, you definitely would lose that one. And the case screws we're putting in for the motherboard, they got to be completely different for the Fallout. They have to be big bolts that we're putting in, so I have to do a custom drill job and all that to install them in, because I want the bolts to stick out really far from the case. Gotta rush those suckers out too. So we have to build our own motherboard post. I think the difficult case we're going to build is a see-through block. That's the hard one, because the motherboard is literally sitting in a separate tank submerged in vegetable oil, and then there's a whole system that we have to run the liquid cooling system. Cables have to come out to the side to make sure none of that stuff leaks into the other case, and then we have to put in a freaking flood wall, which is interesting. Wait till you see what that thing does. So, Kind of make it look like it's raining inside of a cube, but it's actually, yeah. Ah! You don't want that one firing off. Gee whiz, mother freaking. That would have been a mess. An absolute mess. It's just, oh wow, this is just fantastic. Now I have my case screws all straight up. Look at this mess. I want to open it up and look. That would have been a hot mess inside my door. Let me put this over here. I'm not going to get to sort that out. That's a mess. That'll take forever. Just figure out whatever. That's a mess. Alright. Excuse me. And you are what? Alright, we got 2 here. Can we do 2? Will 2 work? Can we get 2 to actually work? I don't think we're going to be able to find another one. We already have it running right now. I had to figure out exactly where. The freak was that? Something coming off of me. I had to figure out where how to hook all this in to all that. Good thing I have a conjunction box. There's a box in there with all the wires in, and I can just open up and go pick out what I want and connect it and put it all back in. And I love that, my little conjunction box. It's like a little toolbox. Like, you know, if you have, you do a greenhouse, oh, that wouldn't be a hot idea. Greenhouse PC? Well, we're doing invisible PCs anyway, so we are building our first PC case that's coated with that technology. Let's see. Okie doke. Let's get that one installed. This is going to be 2, right? Or can we just do 3? We do 3 with this one. Are these the same height as these right here? They're the same height. We can just break it down. I'm gonna break it down for you. Nah. Mother fried chicken. Mother fried chicken. Fried chicken, baby. Mother fried chicken. What? That doesn't make any sense. What the frick is mother fried chicken? Whatever you want it to be. Alright, these will work right here. So, where's my glue gun? They ever launched GTA, I'm already building a PC around that thing. GTA 6, my case will be here soon. I ordered my case. I got a micro case, I can already carry it. So I like the case because the case is white. It's got this kind of pink, kind of retro design on it. Oh man, that thing's gonna look beastly. I can't wait to hook that thing up. I'm doing all neon artwork with UL or EL wire inside. Yeah, it's gonna look something like the Miami Vice when we get done with it. I love it how we built these machines right here, and we get people coming to make comments and go, "Oh, you can't run the high end." We're not trying to run the high end games. This is my work PC. This thing makes money. This machine right here makes money. The machine you buy, you game off. That's a work PC. It has all kinds of types of programs sitting on top of this. It has technology for that Connect system to make it dance for me on that screen. It has projector mapping applications installed into it. It has all different types of AI technology involved inside this machine right here that allows it to function and do the stuff we need to do. It's a work machine. It runs 3 websites. It runs 16 different versions of form sites that we have on our Facebook account, which is hooked to this machine. It has business accounts to it. Online, also transaction accounts from overseas. It's a work machine. That's what it's designed to do. 64 gigs of RAM, which I needed on it in order to open up multiple tabs without the system shutting down. It works. At the end of the day, it makes money. So that's what that machine is designed to do. This one over here is a retro PC. It's designed to play all my 8-bit retro games I like to play. It has all kinds of stuff downloaded here for me to play. All my little retro games I like to play. That's the only thing this is designed for. Retro only. This one over here is going to have an i7 6700 sitting on top of it, which means it allows me to play the more up-to-date games that I want to play that machine can't play. Now, I could go in and build me a super monster machine, but I don't need to spend all that money at the end of the day. Each machine is designed to do what it's like to do. And I like to have multiple PCs in my possession because I do like to build multiple computers. If I build a monster machine at the end of the day, I only have one PC. That's it. I like to build. I'm a modder at the end of the day, so I'm not happy with one PC because it's like it's one PC. I like to put themes in my PC. So this is Fallout, this is going to be the Frozen Boy, and this is the Nuclear Jungle. I have themes for my PC, so that's why I have so many of them. In the home front, I have 16 computers running there, including an entire server room that I built in there because I like to have multiple machines. I got that cyberpunk kind of bug going on. So this is just strictly for Fallout. Now, the one I'm going to be designing for my invisible PC with the case and all, that's going to have a 4070 in it. It's going to be designed for something else. The one I'm doing for the GTA is going to have a much higher card in because it's going to be required if I want to play that thing in 8K. So I want to have that capability when I build that machine. And that's going to be designed for my Miami Vice. We want to build an actual PC wrapped around GTA 6. So for me to have one computer, it's impossible because I have all these ideas of what I want my PCs to look like. This may be Fallout, this may be Cyberpunk, and da-da-da. I have multiple machines. Now, if you don't mod it in the day, you can have one machine and be done with it because you only need one machine. But for people who mod, we like to make our machines look different, so each one has its own identification, own ID, and different parts that we need to put it together for what it's designed to serve for. Not everybody, that's why so when you hear somebody say that, I know from the door you're not a PC gamer. I know from the door you're not a PC gamer. You already gave up your information already. And the reason why is because anybody knows that all PC gamers don't have high-end, top-end parts. They don't. They build their machines to what they need them for. If they're going to play high-end 4K crazy games, they're going to build a machine for that. If they're going to be doing retro builds, they're going to build a machine for that. If it's for work, they're going to build it for that. If it's for VR, they're going to build it for that. That's the beautiful thing about PC at the end of the day. That's the reason why there's so many parts for our machines, because at the end of the day, we can customize them to how we want to build them, or down to liquid cooling systems, to power switches, to motherboards, fans, you name it, even down to wires, everything. We can customize everything. So that's why you don't have to have all these expensive parts. And if it was the case that all games ran off the 5090, you know how hard it is for them to be able to sell these games. If you have required to have high-end parts to run, it'd be virtually impossible for them to sell a game, because you would have to have an extremely expensive machine to do it. That's why if you look at the games, if you look at the specifications, you go and get yourself a Steam account, and you go in and you look at the game specification sheet, you will see that the graphic cards don't require a lot of power. Most likely CPU, but it's not going to be a high-end CPU. You can run pretty well for a 4790 with a 3050 on it. You can run anything off of that. So you don't have to have high-end. And then when they said minimum doesn't mean that your games are going to come out looking like the Atari 2600. That's all. You know what I mean? You don't need all that. You know what I mean? So you got different category class of PC. You have the economic build, which is a basic build for $500, $400 build. Then you have something like a mid-level, which people have a little higher parts. And then you got something called an elitist, which is the high-end super PCs. And the crazy thing about that, the elitists at the end of the day, even they know that there's no way in the world going to use 256 gigs of RAM for a game, because they don't have games they're going to run 256 gigs of RAM. Majority, when they have those machines designed that way, mostly they're doing like my buddy does. He really doesn't get into the whole, only modding he likes in the game is being able to control the environment. When he do that multi-shading to make things look like they're really, really realistic, really cool looking, that's what he does. He needs that kind of equipment. There's a lot of streaming and stuff like that, so yeah, he needs all that stuff. But for the average PC gamer, I don't need all that stuff. That's not even necessary. That's what I showed you when I showed God of War, your God of War, which is exclusive to your system, which is now a PC. Your system's graphic card is the equivalent to a 4750. That's what it's equivalent to. But on the PC version, which we can run it at maximum settings, we have it under a 20 series. You really actually don't need all that power to begin with. They overhype your systems, that's the problem. And then the thing about it is, this is the scary thing about console that scares me the most. Consoles have a habit of putting in really powerful parts, but y'all don't have a proper cooling systems on your systems. Y'all don't run proper cooling on your systems. That's why your systems burn out so quick. You don't have good exhaust systems. You don't have filters on your systems to clean dust and all that stuff. Your systems are designed to burn out. I mean, look at the Dreamcast. Dreamcast is a pretty powerful system. They had a fan in there about the size of a quarter. A quarter! To keep that system cold. What was the other one they had? For the Xbox 360, had one fan in the back. You literally had to buy an attachment to cool it down. And at the end of the day, those parts basically generate a ton of heat. That M2 you have sitting right now in your PS5, they generate heat. You have no way to cool those things down. At least in a PC, if you have an M2 in there, at the end of the day, you have a big, huge case. There's plenty of airflow pushing around in there. When they make the console systems, they compress those cases. There's no airflow in there at all. You got no airflow pushing through there. When I get my PS5, I'm basically tearing the case out because there's no way in the world I'm going to run that thing in there knowing that we can get dirt caught up in this little corridor, so they're going to just stack up on that heat sink that could cause my system to overheat and burn out. That one over there, that system has a better cooling system than your PS5 right now. It has a vent system on the bottom of it, right next to the heat sink system. Yeah, I put a peekaboo window in there too for fun. But anyway, so the problem is that the more and more powerful they make these machines, the crappier the cooling system. That fan that they put on your system, that thing is a joke. You've got to be kidding me. That fan to run that machine, you got all that power in that console system. You got like a 120 millimeter fan sitting up there on top. Oh no! What the freak? No. And you got two little pockets. They're supposed to be air pockets right next to the fan. They didn't even put mesh. They could have put mesh on there, so you can slide it up and clean it with a toothbrush. They're open. If dust gets on that fan, guess where dust is going? Dust goes wherever the freak it wants to go. If you look on the top of my systems right here, you'll see this is coated with dust. All I have to do is pop this open, vacuum, put it back together. I'm done. That's it. So dust eventually is going to get in there. So dust gets there. At the end of the day, it's not going to get the CPU because CPU is completely covered. But if dust gets in there, dust when it goes into your system, that fan, if it's covered in dust, guess what else is covered in dust? That little corridor, all that dust is going down where your heat sinks are at. It's resting on that. Pretty soon you're going to have a nice wool blanket on top of that, where that system's not going to be able to breathe, and you're going to have problems. We have circuits going off down there, but it's going to be burning out on you. And the jacked up thing about it is they should have gave you access to that. They should have made it so you have access to that particular area, but they didn't. And again, if you call Sony and say, hey, look, you guys do cleaning? They'll say, no, we don't do cleaning. So if they don't do cleaning, and if you have to remove those stickers to get to that part, to clean those out, because it voids your warranty, any shop you take it to the fix is going to ask you for permission, because they're going to say, hey buddy, I got to remove this. This is definitely going to void your warranty. It's designed to burn out. The systems are designed for you to buy them over and over again. And for people to sit there and say, oh, that's not true. Question. I can build one PC. How many times will a console system come out? Your console system will come out multiple times. You have a slim version of it, then they'll come up with a version that's 4K, they'll come up with a version of this and a version of that. Heck, the PlayStation did it. For your PlayStation fanboys in it, they go, oh, it doesn't happen. It literally just happened to you. It literally brought out a whole new system in the middle of a system. And it's not even like the Xbox where you have a slim version, and the slim version has the exact same thing that the other system has in it. The only difference is maybe a bigger hard drive, and it's just slim, that's it. They brought out a whole new system. It takes I have to download to upgrade the games for that system. So with that being said, at the end of the day, yeah, they do that. Where in PC, same thing. They got the same parts. My same parts will last me for a couple of years. I can go back and get old parts that still run. Can't do that with console. You can't go in there and strip out your parts and put new parts in. You can do that with the M2s and a few things. That's basically about it. But major parts you need to strip out. You can't upgrade. They can't have you upgrade the system. If you have the ability to upgrade the system at will, why would you buy another console? Then they'll lose money. Yeah, and then they charge you for an online subscription cost. That part ticks me off. I pay for one from over there, and then over here it's free. I got actually two PCs here, and my subscription cost is free. Yeah. The only reason why that system is still here is because they got a lot of friends who play on the PS4. That's why. But the minute I get them all to switch over to PC, which I'm going to build their PCs one by one, and I'm leaving that system alone. Only reason why I want the PS5 is because I want to modify it. That's it. I want to take it apart. I want to modify it. I want to rebuild it. Same thing with the Xbox. Same thing with the Xbox. I'm modifying the Xbox too. That's it. Yeah. Other than that, man, I miss the old console days. I did when it was just console. I miss those days. I miss the console days, man. It was just console. There's none of those apps like Netflix and none of that stuff. It was just console gaming. That's all it was. Those are the days I miss. I miss the Atari 2600. I miss all those games. The Vectrex, the ColecoVision, the Atari 5200. It had the wooden grain design on it. Saturn system, the Dreamcast. Dreamcast was amazing, man. Freaking Nintendo versus Genesis. That was epic battle. Always something going on with them too. Yeah. But anyway, we're to the digital age of video games. Most people don't even game on this system. They watch more TV on it than they actually basically game off of it. Where the freak is my glue gun at? Did I just have that plug in it? It's over there. Whew. I was just sticking back there, George. Here. Yeah, it's crazy. And you get the fanboys will come at me and go, oh, but you don't know. Has one guy contact me? You don't know what you're talking about. No, you don't know what you're talking about. You haven't been in the. I got more games, retro games in my collection, I guarantee, than you do. I guarantee you. I got an FM Marty. Most people don't even know what that thing is. This is one of the Japanese games were all the rage at one point. FM Marty. It's a console system. I almost had a Pippin. Pippin was the Macintosh version of the console system. Nomad. Nomad was basically the portable Genesis system. That thing was huge. It was like eight AA batteries. That thing was huge. But anyway, yeah, he said, well, the industries know what they're doing. Yeah, you keep on believing that one at the end of the day. Xbox 360 era, I lived through that nightmare at the end of the day. The system was amazing. I loved it, but it just kept burning out. But the corporate knows what they're doing. Yeah. And if that's the case, when the PS5 came out, the digital version was supposed to be the cheaper version. The one with the disc, optical disc, was supposed to be more expensive. And then you go out and you buy, find out when the PS5 comes out, the Pro version that comes out of it, it doesn't have a disc connected to it. The disc is optional, which means that the digital version that they launched on the first PS5 was the future version, because the future version of the PS5 Pro didn't come optical, it came without it. When you watch the PS6 comes out, there'll be no optical drive attached to it. But again, I've been telling you guys for the longest time, they want to push the online gaming. That's what they want to do. They tried it way back at one point, and it got denied. A lot of people didn't want it. That's when you had that 500 gig hard drive, and they did the whole thing, sharing is caring, whatever nonsense went with that. People didn't take it too well. You had to be online all the time. You had to buy all your games online. Well, guess what? It's going to happen sooner or later, because that's how you're going to basically step into the realm of PC. PC does that. We basically buy our games online. That's what you'll be doing. So if I want to share a game with somebody, which I do have a share option where you can share games, which is actually pretty cool. But anyway, that's what they're pushing. They're trying to get rid of the optical. The optical disc is expensive. It costs a lot of money to press those games to that disc. A little CD you have in there, DVD, those things cost money. So if they can eliminate that altogether, which money they would save, is a lot of money. On top of that, the casing that comes with it costs money. The illustrated art costs money. Any little book that you got inside of it costs money. It costs money. But if we can eliminate all that and make it so that you can download your games only and give you infinity storage in the cloud, there you go. And that's where you're heading. Because you just watched it happen right in front of you. They brought up the PS5. The more expensive version had the optical disc attached to it. The digital one was cheaper, but the digital one was actually the future system. When the PS5 came out, that disc that you paid that extra money for is optional. So when the PS6 comes out, optional. But from what I read already, that games now today, now my 8-bit system's over here, my retro system over here, 16 gigs is good. But the more and more they advance games, that means your RAM capability may have to come up, which means now they're talking about games now that be at a high performance level, it's going to require 32 gigs of RAM. That's going to be expensive on a console system. Just telling you. So when you get that sticker shock, like I said, if you look at the systems when they come out, like right now, that system will actually technically, if you add everything to it, but technically the PS5 Pro would not be the most expensive system. It would be the PS3 would be the most expensive system. Because when the PS3 came out, they were $800 to $900 from the door. And the reason why, because they had Blu-ray players on them. And that's the era when the Blu-ray players were extremely expensive, and a lot of people bought the PS3 because they had a built-in Blu-ray player. I like when I get the fanboys, and the fanboys act like they know PlayStation. Some of them do, a lot of them do, but some of them, the ones that don't. Like, did you know when the PS2 came out, that it didn't come with an online capability with it? You had to buy the modem separately. It was $50 to buy the modem. That's when it came with SOCOM. It had that wireless headset plugged in the ear, like the ones you have with your cell phones, and you can actually command what they call AI, but artificial intelligence. You can command them through voice command. As it came packed with SOCOM, and you had to buy the adapter to plug onto the back of that to play that online. So I know your system. I even had the PS1 when it first came out. As a matter of fact, I still have mine. I had that one, and I had the micro version of it. I'm a gamer, man. At the end of the day, you think because I build all this stuff, at the end of the day, I don't know consoles. Please, I started with console first. Yes, sirree, buddy. Yes, sirree. But yeah. They that was the whole thing with that at one point. But now you look at the PlayStation, man, yeah, you're not gonna get an optical disc with that thing. They're not even probably gonna make it they're not gonna make it optional for you to have one. There's no point. They're gonna make it so you download only. That's what they're pushing for. So what happens to the games you have in your library? Or to make sure you just have a system that just has an optical drive, and that's the only way you're gonna play them. Where everybody was mad about tomorrow. It doesn't come with the freaking, doesn't come with the disc. What the freak doesn't come with the? Yeah, because they're planning for the future, man. They're getting rid of all that. It's gonna be all digital download. That's what it's gonna be. Welcome to the world of digital. That's gonna be all digital download. Everything is digital download. Your movies, your sports, everything is all digital download. Download. The jacked up thing about digital download is that technically you don't even own it. It ain't like your collection that you have, sitting in your back room. You actually own the physical disc. Digital download, you don't own that. And keep in mind, I realized that when I had the Xbox 360, I paid for a ton of freaking videos and movies and avatar clothing. And then when I switched over to the other system, guess what? None of that stuff went with it because it was licensed. You don't have the light transfer license. So you can have the license to have it there on your system, but to transfer it onto another system or basically download it onto your flash drive, they consider that piracy, so they won't allow you to do that. So whatever you have will stay on that system. Now, some of your games may go and some may not go. But that's what the beautiful thing about having a system that's backwards compatibility, because you can take the disk out and put it in there. But if there's no disk drive to it, then what? So for those of you who invested in the PS5 with the disc player, you lost. And I'll tell you why. Because the only way you're going to be able to play those games probably on the PS6 set, again, you don't have backwards compatibility with digital download. You don't have it. It's not necessary. It's only with disc. This backwards compatibility is needed. The games you have downloaded, you'll probably be able to transfer some of those to the other system, which would be nice. But as for the disc, you won't be transferring any of that over there. It's going to stay where it's at. That's why they did it so with the disc, they made it so you can download the game and you're just basically buffering. That cuts down on basically wear and tear on your optical drive. So you have that woo going off in the background. Yeah, isn't it interesting? And then people say, well, it's the industry knows what they're doing. Yeah, of course, yeah, sure. What they're doing, they would have put a liquid cooling system on that thing. You definitely need a liquid cooling system on that system. The system, good God, if they bring out that PS6, and that system has that same dinky fan that they had on even the Xbox system. If they put that same fan on that system, yeah, be warned. And you're gonna have all kinds of problems with that. You need a liquid cooling system. Liquid cooling. Liquid cooling, people. Liquid cooling. And yes, you can add liquid cooling to your system because your motherboard actually has 4 pins, has 4 open ports, just like on that motherboard, which means you can add liquid cooling to it. What they really should do is get rid of them power supplies. Get a real power supply. Get one of those in there. You can get that. They can make a micro slim. I've seen a micro slim version of those power supplies. Get a ATX mother power supply in there. And you can really have some fun in there. There you go. You have to configure everything so you can't basically mess with or tamper with it. What's the point? I'm spending a lot of money spent. I couldn't imagine what the price of the PS6. I'm gonna roughly say $1,200. I'm going with $1,200. I think it's gonna be $1,200 for that system. That system breaches at $1,200. Well, that's it. That's pretty much it. That's it. You guys have reached. You reached the last. You're past that part. Basic PC build is $500. $600 to build basic PC build. Probably less than that. I did one for $500. Yeah. You breach that? Oh my goodness, man. Even with the Xbox system, same thing. You breach $1,200, that's not good. Why? You have a system that costs $1,200. You cannot manipulate, modify anything you want on your system. You're paying for a subscription cost. Man, you might as well get a PC. It does not give you enough. Not for $1,200. For $1,200, I want to be to take the whole machine apart, put it all back together again. At least give me free subscription, for goodness sakes. Yeah. $1,200. Man. Mind you, what was it? The limited edition was $1,000. And the only thing the limited edition had really was a case. I gave you a case, that's it. Because somebody could have 3D printed that one. And they gave you a case. I wouldn't sell it, by the way. But yeah, you got a case. You didn't get anything special with that. It's the same parts that the PlayStation Pro has in it. Now, if they went in and added some extra perks in there to that limited edition, maybe a better graphic card, 32 gigs of RAM in there, really upped it up a little bit. And if they had made it so when the intro comes on like the PS1, there you go. That would have been worth the money. But the only difference between, my buddy has both of them. I said, what's the difference between that one and this one, the limited edition and that one? Not really the case. When you got a few trinkets with it, that's basically about it. So, that's all. They really should have put that PS1 logo in there. Oh, that would have been sick. The original logo, when it comes on, that would have been sick. Sony, you could have did that at the end of the day. That would have been awesome. Maybe they'll do it in the next one. Remember, I thought of it first. And they should have did some retro controller, like the PS. A little bit modification. You can use it, but like almost like the original controller. That would have been sick. My CEO's right now kicking himself like, damn it, that's a good idea. We should have did that. Would have been actually marvelous. Absolutely marvelous. Yeah, I'd have bought that in a hot second. That'd have been hot. That's definitely limited edition. They're like, Houston, we have a problem here. This screw and this screw are not the same. Let me see. Same height. Same height. Yeah, you the same height. Do I consider it to be a nice system? Yeah, it is. My friend has one. Yes, like I said, yes. That one in a limited edition. It's a very nice system. I do like it. But I'm not giving up the PC world for it. But I will get one. Eventually, one day. I'm in a rush to get one. So I have to take it apart anyway. Because I know myself at the end of the day, I won't be happy with it. I'll have to take it apart. I'll take everything apart. Ooh, you're having a temperament here. Why are you having a temperament? Oh, I know I heard something crazy. That's Tassie. Tasmanian devil. Do not open, beware. The guy got a little very upset with it. He sent me a long email message like, dude, you work? You have a job? It's a console system, for goodness sakes. It's a nice system. There's a lot of things I see that can be modified, that can be changed. That's why I'm modifying mine. But he just went too far with it, screaming and yelling at me. And you know something, you don't work for Sony. Sony don't pay. You don't get a check from them anyway whatsoever. You're not endorsed by Sony. So why put all that empty energy into something you don't get paid for? Too much. Liquid nitrogen system. All that's going to have to be cleaned up. I can put a tube here that comes out from here to here and drop everything in there. Yeah, that's the keyboard and the mouse right there. Ugh. New strategy. We're going to come up with it. Ooh, we got the feet on them too already. Cool. I'll take that. Let go. I'll put one here. And I'll put one here. Right here. All right, let's see. This is a 240. When I hit the screws, I'll never get this thing up. There we go. Go that way. Oh man, you could do it that way easily. Then we just need two, that's it. I might do that way instead. Let go. Oh wait. If you put that no, it actually does work. That does work. So you would only need two to put that in there. But go with the both six, and that's how we do it. The other way is we just go ahead and do it. This would be much easier. Alright, let me see. Don't skip you. Totally. I'll show you what I'm doing. Really? With my wallet chain, how dare you, chair? You don't know me that well. With my wallet chain. Oh, cool. Oh, wrong one. Don't hit that, please. Come on, man, get around that. You're a jerk. Well, you know, you would be a jerk on that, wouldn't you? Get over here. I knew that wasn't going to work like that. It would have been the other way around. Right. The other way around would have been much easier. Lift up. Let it go, let go, let go. That pull over here doesn't want to let anything go. You better way to do it. No, wait. Yeah. Who's this? That's a bit nerve-wracking about doing this. So making sure that bolt doesn't fall into my power supply and wreck it. What did you do? Why didn't you turn it off? No! There'd be no challenge. Come on, get in there. Don't be a jerk. Yeah, perfect. It's the whole time of it all. Perfect. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. That was easy to get that one. That's it. Do. Now, does that improve the airflow? Nah, it's open case. Everything in here, so basically won't have an issue. I just add some mod art to it because I'm gonna freeze the daylights out of this baby. I'm gonna turn that back there into a cold fusion power plant. So we have to put this whole little hook it up. We have a pipe system gonna run all through here today. So that's what we're doing with that. Which one of these is actually going to what? Should be this one. Ooh, righty. So we're gonna pick a pipe system all the way around there. It connects into here. All this comes up, connect from pipes, all from here to here with screws and bolts and all the little rust. It's gonna be a liquid cooling system right here, not a liquid cooling system, but a liquid nitrogen tank in there. Now, liquid nitrogen tank is going to be coated the inside because if we put liquid into it, it's going to be way too heavy on the case, so we don't want that. But we're going to make it look like there's liquid in it. We're also going to coat the inside with a highly UV blue invisible powder that's going to make that thing glow like boom. And gives a nice kind of a frosty look to it. No. I gotta be a jerk about it. Get that freak in there. So wait, so this one was longer than that one? Huh. Alright, I have to get my caution tape and all that other good stuff up here. But that's going to need the caution tape for that one and walking up and all that good stuff and like that. Alright, let me see. Are these the same height? They are the same height. Alright, let me begin the process over here. Because I have to convert things for this at all. Hooah! Yeah, you were right off on the wrong side of that, right? Right, you definitely were off on that one. Perfect right here, yeah. Oh, no, that is just not on this buddy. That's the first time I looked into it, yeah. so many flowers in there. We could have very easily attached it to this. Ouch. Attach it to that. We got a lot of flowers going on back there. Yeah, that'll be clickety-clackety all day. I'm going to get the same right now. Oh, that's kind of hot though. I like that. Can we get away with it? Okay, that's different and new. Definitely ought to go with that. Nice. Oh, that is sick. I decided to stand it up. There's just enough inch in there for the spin right here that doesn't interfere with this right here. Definitely going to put a cage here, on this side and this side. So I say radiation. We had to plant this up. We got to flower this up a little bit. That's an interesting way of sticking a fan in there. Okie dokie. Behind the scenes of the PC builds. Pretty soon this baby will be ready to go. Yeah. All of these have screens that attach to them. They connect in the front. I got to build a bracket system that allows the screens to connect onto them once we're done. And then pretty soon, when we have this done, we'll be to do the whole Fallout explosion with the nuclear blast. Hey, while I'm back here, I might just put in the freaking whatchamacallits, right? Like the plant life in here. Because we're back here anyway. Hoo-ah! Get our stand and bring it right behind here. Rarely you see this side of the office, right? We got all this up behind the boom! Gotta get some room in here. My legs. There we go, people. Tuck you in there nicely. Like so. La-di-da. La-ti-da. I got a disco show. All right, let me get some plant life back here for this. Ah, that's great. Toggle little boxes back here. Oh no, I dropped my castle. Is it destroyed? Did I destroy it? We'll see in a few minutes. Careful. Oh, that's not good. Well, okay. That's bad. That's not good. Castle's still intact though. But I had a whole bunch of water up here for my painting. Oh, we know the castle's sturdy. Let me get something to clean that up. Yeah. Again, my boots? My pants? Nope. Alright. We're good on that. Oh, I did get it with some of it. Well, we shouldn't have had that here. That was a bad idea. Let's get this mess cleaned up. controls. Not good. Maybe you should have removed his box out of here. So box that you can actually move back and forth. Let's get his in here. So I can basically get back here and get work done because I was trying to step over his box. I didn't want to hit it. And I misjudged my step and caught something else. I literally forgot that I had a container up here filled with water for my brushes. And that's what we struck. Alright, cool. Everything's cleaned up. That'll work. Oh. We gotta let it empty that thing out. Alright, let me see. I gotta get plant life on that. My roots are white. Okay, let me see. Blue flowers. Flowers. Beautiful flowers. Let me see. Oh, excuse me. But, burp. Sorry, I got a burp in here. Picking out some flowers. Oh, you definitely have to pick up some more glue. I gotta work on that next. Matter of fact, I should have that over here. I'm gonna be working on that next. But I'm gonna get some more glue because we gotta put that crooked chimney in. Alright, get some flowers over here with the glue gun. Put my lights on. Alright, good. See the color. Of course you read this in the right. Alright, let's see what about. Oh, what the freaking tin? What are you hooked on over there? Child, wow, you freaking kidding me? Why don't you give me something real stupid and simple? Of course, this would be it. Really? What is freaking cord? They're gonna come by here to grab this stuff. Come here. Alright, come here. Be nice. You be nice. You stay right there. You be nice. You, come with me. Oh, take it. Please don't tell me you left the scissors back over there, knowing that we need the scissors up here. Everything over there? I don't know what they're not doing. Oh yeah, you're right here with us. Jeez. Man. Every time I lost something, you're laying there.
got you, buddy. Yeah. I got you. Over here. Does it glow in the dark? And we're done. Equipment bags. I should just shove my other equipment bag back there.
And then I gotta clean out that whole section that needs to be cleaned out. So that dirt down there, we gotta take this whole thing. It's not hard to do. Just zip, 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 take it out. Done.
Sit.
So once we get our icicles in, we're going to run them from here, 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 and here to make it look like the icicles dropping all the way around here. We'll put a meter system right in here, digital meter system, that temperature is control, and we'll have wires coming up from here to here to here, plugging the out ports. It's nothing, just to make it, give it a look like it's actually being powered. These are going to be USB lighted cables, because meaning look like they're actually drawing power from here, and that power will be connected to these little units here and back into here and the motherboard. So it's like it's all being powered by this hydro liquid nitrogen system. You know, pretty soon we'll be back working on this guy. That's basically about it. All right, that's one that's done. So that project is finished and completed. Happy about that. This one broke. I have no idea what happened to this one. The lights just don't cut on anymore, so. Hello. That's why I like the ones that have like separate power, separate lights. That's all in one. So if one goes, they all go. That's what's jacked up about that. All right. Just have to go back in the case so we can find these. Where's my stand at? Of course, way over there. Hooah! Stan, you're always somewhere weird. But then again, I put you over there, didn't I? Stan the man. Yeah, pretty soon, boom, all the way around, wrap around, all the way around. They come in on Monday. No frame, nothing needed. That's usually no frame whatsoever. It's just basically some tape behind it that connects it together nice and tight. Coat it, hang it, done. That's why the other guy came and took the other frame, because I don't need it. You just built that thing. I said, yeah, but we don't need it. We don't need it because we figured out a better way to do it. That's cheaper too. All right, put all this stuff away. Ooh, I just dropped my bag all over the place. All my stuff in here. The madness. How do you sort anything out? We figured out. Alright, this is the part I gotta get done. I had all this organized. Okay, or whatever. Okay, anyway. All cleaned up. So I'm gonna get this all in the drawer like I did the one time I had spills to us, the worst thing in the world. You drop your tackle box and all your stuff just shoots all over the place. That is the worst thing to go through when you're carrying tackle boxes. All your stuff just all over the place. Screws, bolts, nuts, everything, everywhere. All you can do is just look at it and just go, I can't believe that just freaking happened. That's all you can do. And just slowly get down and pick it all up. That's why I bought one of those magnetic units. You just run over top of them, everything just comes up with it. Yeah, I learned my lesson from that one. Yeah, dropping a tackle box, especially when you drop them downstairs by accident. All your stuff just shoots all over the place. Just go in there with a magnet, just picks everything up. It'll take you forever to find all that stuff. You'll be sweeping up a year later and you'll still be finding nuts and bolts all over the place. Learn to move next time. I don't know why you have. You get the whole section here. You have a battle with your fish. You choose right by the chair. Right by it. Y'all push that whole 9 lives to a whole nother level, don't y'all? I literally have scolded him multiple times about having that fish fight right here. And times I almost stepped on that cat. A few times I almost stepped on them. And they don't like to move. They do not like to move. They'll look at you like, no, you move. You got cats, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You be carrying in something heavy, that sucker will walk in front of you out of nowhere and start stretching in front of you like, what are you doing? Looks like it's your fault. You okay? Let me see your tail.
Let me see what that tail. Let me see it. Let me see. Oh, bite. Let me see your tail, you waffle man. Wow, 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 wow.
Okay. Next time, move the buns. Move your flatty buns. Your flatty buns. Move your flatty buns. What's your question mark tail? Come out, do your stretches. You just walking from out of the den. You gotta do stretches. So that's why I can jump and not fall on my face because I'm always limber. We got to get more of this because we literally have to paint that thing, the whole stucco job with that. So I got to go pick up some stuff. I got to clean my fans out today. We need maintenance on the fans. Going to be all cleaned out today. Plug it in, plug it in. Right, our dinosaur over here. Wait back. All right, let's wire management this real quick because everything else is done. And I got to clean those wires up in there because they're an absolute mess in there. What the frig are you? Oh, SATA cable. What kind of cable is that? SATA cable. Remember the days of going in earlier PC builds and basically looking at the power supply to see what cables I need to run this and run that out of. And you find out you can get the ones you don't have to have all that excess wire around. You just plug whatever you want to plug in. I prefer the power supplies that don't have no pretty lights, nothing, because I want to do my own work on them. Now, I heard if you do this on an inside on a case that's basically closed, you could run into some problems by doing that. But we're open. Our case is open. So we shouldn't have any problems with an air restriction or anything. And it's right where we have those markers right there. Where it's holding up. I can actually get access to the screws, pull the whole thing up, so the whole thing will come up in one hit. But the one we have to do over here for the invisible case is different. I literally have to pull the entire top off. And I have to have my friend who's going to basically print a case cover over top of it because it needs to be invisible so we can see inside the parts. Because that case is designed to be invisible. So he's going to do that. You get people get sensitive when I say 3D printing. So I get so sensitive in the day. First of all, only people sensitive about that. We know people are sensitive about that. Why are you in my room? Question. Why are you in here? Because you know what? There's nothing going on in your room. They don't do anything. Every time the camera comes on, tell me we don't do something different every time the camera comes on. Either we're inside, outside, we're somewhere. The camera is always different. I try to do that because, again, I get bored. If I do the same thing day after day after day, man, I'm going to be outside of a bridge with a rope and a cinder block. I can't do that. I got to do something different every day. So I got that already installed. Oh, I definitely want to put some pretty flowers on the other side. Where's the Richmond format? I got the other side. I want some pretty flowers back here. Oh, I'm telling you, man, this freaking thing looks majestic. I don't know what. We're gonna be going back pretty soon. We're gonna build a Cricut. We're gonna build a Cricut chimney for our which one to set up today. We got plenty of cardboard over here. I found a box I wasn't using, so I got it all cut up and ready to use. Have some fun with that. Go back into the whimsical. I like the fact we can go into the future. We can go back into the past. With the future, go to the past. On our whimsical builds. Whimsical. The word for the day is whimsical. If your wife, girlfriend, or whatever family member cooks you something, say, "Oh my goodness, this is absolutely whimsical." They will laugh at it. Because it sounds interesting. They will laugh at it. It's whimsical. Just say that. Go out and go, "Wow, this pizza was absolutely whimsical." You gotta say it with passion when you say it. You can't say whimsical. It don't sound right. When you say, "Oh, pizza was whimsical." Nah, that just sounds so phony. You have to say it with passion. Oh, my goodness. The pizza was so whimsical. Like, these pretzels are making me thirsty. You gotta feel passion. If you don't, excuse me, and will understand the whole true meaning of whimsical. I literally do it to my family all the time. When we go to like, oh my God, this pizza is absolutely, do I dare say, whimsical. All right, here's my flowers in the back though. And I gotta get ready to set up for my other one. That thing fell off and it's still intact, which means, man, we blew the crap out of that thing. Yeah, my tower over there, my clock tower. Oh man, we were having this. What was this? It was a candy argument. It wasn't an argument. It was a discussion about candy. It started off with my Spanish brothers. One of them posted that he wanted to go back to the days of that old-fashioned candy. What did he mention? He mentioned something. It was a candy I can't stand. He mentioned Jolly Ranchers. I hate Jolly Ranchers. It's a confusing candy for me. He's talking about he liked something Jolly Ranchers at the end of the day. And I sat there and comment. Oh, it was a candy argument. It wasn't an argument. It was just a funny discussion. And I sat there and said, yeah, that candy is designed for people that are made to be cowards. Not men who go out to war and battle, but the men that stay behind with the women and children because they lack the skill level to fight in real battle. That's what I said. And he turned around and I said something about Good and Plenty. I'm a big fan of Good and Plenty. I said something about Good and Plenty. And he turns around and says, Good and Plenty. He said, Good and Plenty, that vile, disgusting, something, whatever, candy, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And then I started on this whole speech about Good and Plenty, how amazing it is, how the gods themselves basically eat it, how basically, it was some crazy stuff. It was just all Greek, crazy, like bragging, like 300 kind of nonsense of the day. But it was just funny as I don't know what. And then my buddy was talking about, well, I will save the good. I will put the Good and Plenty in my satchel. So when the time comes of great battle, I can use it. And it means something when my strength is that weak. It was just funny. It was all about candy. That whole entire poetry, all about candy. It was just hilarious. But anyway, those are my people I hang out with. Our peoples. Ah, man. Did I just have it in my hand? I literally just have these in my hand. Lost. That's it. Where's the glue at? The glue. Trolls didn't have flashlights. They had freaking whatchamacallit. I'm still watching it in the day. People do cave crawling. What is wrong with you? Like, who wakes up in the middle of the day and goes, you know what? In the morning says, you know what? I want to be buried alive. I want the feeling and fear of being buried alive. I mean, you're slinking through these really compressed, you got to watch, it's called cave crawling. These really compressed rocks, and you're just pushing. And some of these people, their faces are rubbing against these rocks, and they're just barely squeezing through, and they get an adrenaline rush out of that. You know what's not adrenaline rush? Yeah, being trapped on the ground where no one can get to you. Because, I mean, they're way, way underground. I mean, way underground. They're under there, man. And pyramids are not going to get you in time. That guy died upside down. That's a horrible way to go out. Yep. So that's what it's called, cave crawling. This started popping up on my feed on Facebook. I started watching it. I'm like, you've lost your mind at the end of the day. Who really thinks at the end of the day? At one point, I'm topside, walking around as free as a bird, and the next, I'm in a coffin-like scenario situation. You don't know what kind of crap you could find down there. It's not that. It's basically the bacteria. It's all kinds of stuff in the middle of the earth that you could basically bump into. On top of that, I looked at some of the things you may bump into. There's a lot of venomous poison spiders, centipedes, all kinds of stuff you could bump into. And then they're crawling around. Oh my goodness, man. One guy died, and a few people died. A few people died. Getting caught up in their panic, have a heart attack, and caught between that two places. Yeah, it was crazy, man. But why? Why would you do something like that? It's crazy, man. Yeah, that's crazy. It's the craziest thing I've seen in my life. I didn't even know. I knew the one that they do with scuba diving. I've seen that one. But at least they got enough room, a little bit of room in there to move around. But I wouldn't do it either way. But now they're doing it where they're crawling and they're finding these little crevices and cracks in the ocean floor, and they're crawling down there. Natural selection at its finest. That's what you have right there, people. Natural selection at its finest. That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen, to play with your life that way. Yeah, it's all fun and games until you get stuck. It's all fun and games until somebody gets stuck down there and they can't get out. Now, God forbid, I don't even know how a paramedic would even get to you while you're down there. The other guy, they left him in there. They couldn't get him out. A guy called Putty, I think that was Putty. Yep, they left him in there. They couldn't get him out. He died upside down. That's just a horrible way to go. Who the freak came up with that dumb idea at the end of the day? And who was dumb enough to follow behind it? Some of these caves have water in them. I mean, where it's dirty, it's murky. You're talking about parasites and everything. This is what I don't like. These are the same people who will be down there digging around in a place they're not supposed to be at. Bring us some unknown virus or disease, wherever it is, and plague the rest of us with it. Because that's usually what happens. The rest of us will get screwed over because they got screwed over. Being in a place you shouldn't have been at to begin with. Bring something topside and we all get hit with that mess. That's what I don't like about it. Breathe something in, and then bring a whole different type of virus to the surface that now we got to deal with. Some of these places are barricaded. They're barricade off. Like you're not supposed to be in there. Nope, these dummies go in there with a torch and cut through it. Cut through it and then go down. Oh my goodness, man. Oh well. Well. Alright, I think we're good on that point. We got that. That's good. I don't need no more flowers to go. Get this one tied up and everything. So we got enough flowers on the side. I want to get this so if I turn, I can still see it's covered a little bit. There we go. I like that. I'll take that. Oh man. Crawling. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. I mess around and find some prehistoric troll down there that no one figured out was down there living down there. You're going to find something jacked up down there. I swear, if I'm a paramedic, and if I get a call that we got to go down into a cave, I'm not going after you. I'm sorry. I'm not risking my life. If you were dumb enough to crawl down there to begin with, I am not bothering with you. You're on your own. I don't care. I'm smart enough not to go down there. I'm definitely not going down there to get you. That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And they're sitting there smiling like, oh my goodness, you know, I barely made it through that crack. And breathing all heavy and faces grinding all up against the dust and dirt and whatever nonsense. I think I got a position right here. We'll just pull up on it. You think you got it? And that one guy, man, he got caught. He got jammed. Something got caught up, and he couldn't move. And he's in there panicking. And the guy said, calm down, man. Just relax. How do you relax in a situation like that? You are trapped on the ground. That's when it starts kicking in now. That you are literally trapped underground, and there is no one going to be able to get to you. God forsake, if it starts raining, there's people who died. There was actually 7 people who died. The one on our trip. And they got caught up in these canyons. These other people were coming back out of it. And they're going in. And they had a flash flood and they all drowned. Craziness, man. Life is too short to do dumb stuff. It really is. I'm not saying don't have an adventure. Just be smart the whole thing. Can't sit there and say, well, it's not all white people. I watched a dozen people do that freaking cinnamon challenge. That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. You know what cinnamon does when it gets in your body? It hardens like a rock. You suffocate. And people are taking scoops of cinnamon and putting it in their mouths and basically Some people died off of it. What was the other one? They're choking themselves to death. Another dumb thing they were doing. Other one, they're setting themselves on fire. Apparently, y'all don't want life. That's crazy, man. Every time it's something new. What was a couple of them they did? Ah, yeah, the ghost peppers. Freaking ghost peppers. You can literally have, you can go into have a heart attack. You can die from those things. One guy was dumb enough to cut the suckers in half and rub them into his eyes. Gee, for views. Oh my goodness, man. I'm gonna unplug this thing, turn the thing off while I'm doing this. Oh, forget it. I don't feel like doing all that. What starts with what? No, 'cause I don't feel like clipping a fan with my fingers. Let me see. There you go. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Ghost Peppers was fun, though. That was funny to watch. Because, man, I just watched people just, come on now. You just realize, you just watch somebody go through a whole tantrum. Just being possessed, screaming and yelling all across the room and carrying on. And you're going to think to the back of your mind, like, I can do that too. It shouldn't be a problem. And now you sitting there doing the same thing in freaking zombie mode outside, all freaking, good gracious, man. But it was fun to watch. I have to admit that was fun to watch. Because these people just getting jacked up, man. It was just funny to watch. And don't go for milk. That can't help you, boy. That has got to be freaking jacked up. When you got all this milk in front of you and water, and you really believe that that's going to help you, and then when it fails, where does your mind go to after it fails? Your mind's got to be racing at 100 miles an hour. You go into panic mode. There's a panic mode kicks in. Because you thought the very thing that's going to save you can't help you because it's not working. That's why you see people chugging water over and over and over again. Yeah, because that failed safe. It didn't work the way they thought it was going to work. Oh, man. And then they go outside. That's not going to help you. That's not going to help you at all, period. I had two family members that did it. They went to a place called Clucky's in California. They went to a place called Clucky. It's supposed to serve the hottest chicken in the world. And they signed the waiver. They wanted to sign the waiver. When they came in, and they said when they first came in, everybody at the table, the veterans, had bread. They had all ice cream, all this stuff over the table. They went in with Pepsi. And I had to ask them, because I had never met anybody actually, I found two family members actually did it. I said, how was it? She said, oh my God, it's like the worst thing I ever went through in my entire life. Like, if I had a gun, I would have taken my life. It was that bad. That bad. And that's not the worst part. It's the aftermath. It's even worse. The constant diarrhea, the throwing up, you know what I mean? You'll throw up to your insides are raw. It's horrible. And the headaches, you trigger off. Yeah, so they went there and they got this food. They got the hottest one you could possibly get. They're laughing and joking, get to the table, sign the contract. You know, it ain't that bad, you know what I mean? We go to New Orleans, we go get hot food all the time. You know, she was dating this Jamaican, they eat a lot of hot foods. It ain't nothing, we got this. Yeah, right. They're slow burners. So they get through 5 wings. And this is where it kicks in. This is where she's watching her ex. She's watching his nose start to run and slobber coming down his mouth. Yeah, because then he's overheating. Oh my goodness, man. Yeah, 5 wings in, he stopped and he was at the table going. He can't catch his breath. He couldn't breathe. And her right there, headache automatically kicked in. Just shut the freak down. They were shut down. They get to the house. He has to end up calling. They call the paramedics for him. Because now his heart is racing at a rapid pace, and they have to basically pack him in ice. He ended up in the hospital, and she ended up with migraines, really bad migraines. Like somebody was hitting her in the back, and like somebody put a metal pot. She's on the top back of her head, and someone just striking her with a sledgehammer. That's how it felt. And she couldn't even open her eyes to just look. It was the blinding from the headache was that bad. Between the throwing up, and she wanted to sleep on the toilet with a bucket between her legs. That's messed up. And they had, I think she ate 5 and he ate 3 of them. Yep. I was like, wow. It was that basic. They'll never do it again. You couldn't pay me enough money to go down that road ever again. It's pretty bad. So when I see people going through all that stuff, yeah, what they told me at the end of the day, what they went through, that's why they make you sign that contract. You die and are responsible for it. But people look at it like this is the biggest lie you tell yourself. What's the worst it can be? I can handle this. How hot can it be? I've had hot food before. This ain't nothing. You'll find out. I don't know if they're still around. That's funny because then you hear people at the barbecue hearing these people talk about how hot and how tortured this food was. And now they're thinking, where's this place at? I'm like, oh, please tell me when we do this. Because I'm definitely recording every inch of this. Where's it at? How do we get to this place? We're going to go. We're going to get jacked up. Yep, in California, it's called Cluck You. They have the hottest chicken you can get. They got names like Dead on Arrival and all this stuff like that. Some jacked up names attached to them. I personally, no, I ain't touching that stuff. You crazy. But at least they can tell the tale that they did it. I don't think it's worth it. Let's see. Serve that the ghost pepper incident. That was another one that was very jacked up. One of my nephews was having a discussion with my sister. She's a chef about basically he could eat anything hot. He's good. He can eat anything hot. So you can eat anything, really? I'll make something for you. Oh my goodness, what the freak! Even the bread had bits of ghost pepper in it, and it's jalapeno cheese, hot cheese, and everything. And she went and took those hot sausages and she marinated them in horseradish juice, and they were injected with that juice also too. Yep, jacked him up. The mustard was freaking had ghost peppers in it. It was just messed up. She jacked him up. Yeah, you won't make that mistake again, will you, Jack? She jacked him up. She put a red saran wrap on it. Tell people don't touch this. This is for one of the nephews. Man, he came in. When we came to the door, we got there a little late. When we got there, he came to the door, man. Yeah, he's sweating beads. How are you sweating beads by the air conditioner? You by the air conditioner, sure, soaking wet, sweating beads. Can't even talk right. He's like he mumbling the whole entire time. She jacked him up. Yeah. Yeah. You want it real hot? You want it really, really hot? You want me to hook it up for you? Okay, I'll hook it up for you. And she jacked him up. Oh, man. See, the beautiful part about having open rack systems, you just pull out parts that are in the way and just work around them. That's the only problem I have with cases. Cases, I had to get all in there. It drove me nuts to do cases. But I like the open racks, because open racks you can get the access to everything you want. Scissors. Used to have them for test racks that you can just go in there. That's what the whole open rack came from. It was just test racks. You can have all your parts in there and do diagnostic benchmarking for your graphic cards and all that stuff. And somebody got the idea to say, hey, let's make a pretty cool PC case. And next thing you know, there you go. Before it became open rack, it was called torture racks. That's what they were called. And they changed it over to open racks, which I prefer to open racks. So, if you're going to spend money for that, especially for that graphic card at the end of the day, that 5090, I would like to have that open. I want people to see it. Right? You can't take something like that to like a PC convention, because if you notice that some of the PCs have locks on the doors, that's why, because people will open up your case and take your parts out. That's why if you ever get a PC case and there's a lock on the door, you're like, well, there's a lock on the door. That's why. People will literally go into your case and they will take your parts out of your PC. Just don't lose it. On the range. The skies are all cloudy and gray. Okay. Let's get this.
gotta invade that thrift store pretty soon. They got a thrift store I want to check out. See what they got in there. They might got some parts in there I can use. Oh, did we not have all this? Did you not see this part right here? Apparently, we did not see this part right here. Not a problem. I have to build a base for the bottom of the cooling system. I'm gonna drop all that in there. Where's that box at? I think I saw it somewhere around here. Let me see. Oh. Can't wait for my clothes to clean it. That's why we keep everything. You never know when you're gonna need it for something. Alright, let me see. Let me get you open. There we go. This little box right here. I need this for a bottom base for the liquid nitrogen. And once I gotta get some more cables. I don't have more cables left. But basically you get all this. Line all this down through here. So it doesn't go anywhere. And all this in here. And we'll tuck all this once we get it nice and tight in this box right here. Turn this box into a power station, and that way we can hide all our stuff, cables and wires, because in there we got a little box in there that hides those conjunction boxes, allows me to get hold of my controllers in there, my cables I need for my changing my lights for my fans. There we go, little slots on the side. We can hide everything in there. So we have, let me see. This is for this and this. Okay, so that's there. How come we don't have these two? Oh, this is main power from here. But we don't need this here. If we have this here, we got this here. This is the main power source right here, from here to here. We have 3 prongs on here. Yeah, we could have opened right from here. Instead of going through all this mess, we could just sort of ran right from here. My tank's going to fit here in there. And this has to be brought down here. That needs to be brought down here and connected to this down here. Okay, so you just have these two. This one, and this one. These 3 here. And you have this connector here. Again, that one's free. We'll disconnect this one. Let me see where you're at. That'll be you. That'll be you. And that'll be you. Alright, so we keep it all separate there. Too much stuff all over the place. And that can go inside the box. All this will go inside the box here. This is separate. This is a whole nother cable we have now for plugging another fan if we need one. So I'll leave that out there so we can get access to it. Okay, so we're going to put a panel here, right here, panel here. It's going to basically run, it's going to be a panel here, and all from here we're going to build a power station here, and then we're going to have the liquid nitrogen here. That's what we're going to do with that. So we're then going to put in a panel system. And we can do all that from cardboard. I see it's nice and flat. We got plenty of caution stickers, so we'll have it all right there for that, for the liquid nitrogen tank will be right there, and we'll hide all that stuff in this little box over here. Yep, that's pretty much it. Let me see, where is, we don't have one around here, don't we? We should have one around here to give an idea. I can figure what I did with it. That's not it. That's definitely not it. I have a smaller one here for the fallout. Get an idea on how I'm going to put all this together. Nothing there. Ah, man, I swear if I had a quarter every time we lose something, I'll tell you, if you never know. Something over this place. Ah, just thought about that. Huh. We have another one of these. Why? Are you still connected to everything? You pull fans out, everybody's connected to fans. Come on, be nice, get in there. Thank you. All right. No, it won't fit. Remember, you have what you would call them sitting right there. You have your liquid cooling system. That won't work. So if I can get all this, I put a hook system in here and bring all this up here out of the way. Definitely want that out of the way. I can put that somewhere else up out of the way. I gotta bind all that together. I need more twists, more ties. So I'm gonna twist tie all this, bind this up, put that up there. I wanna put a fan behind here, but I want it so you can only see half of the fan. Only half the fan I want it to be shown. Like yeah, I need a half of the fan to show. Let me see if we do it this way, just an idea. Yeah, that'd be perfect. Because we only need half of the fan to show. But to make sure it doesn't get caught up with all this mess behind it, we have to bind this up real tightly. We got a compartment up there. We're going to put it right up there on a nice little ledge, hide it up real nicely. Put that inside of a conjunction box. We can put a huge conjunction box right up there. Tuck all that stuff way in there, hide it. And I can put on the side electrical live wires, stuff like that. And then this right here, I can bring this, will give me plenty of room in here for this. Yeah, plenty of room for that. Where are you clicking? Let me see. I'm clicking something. That's better. Right there. Where is your connector? I just have an open connector. I have an extra one here. I know what to put in here. Right here. Extra one in here. Let me see. Oh, it's this one. That's what it is. Is that one? That's connected to the power supply you have there. All right, we have to bundle that all up. It's connected to this. Get an idea on this. It's just to get an idea of exactly how we're going to put all this together. Everything has to be super lightweight. How did you connect this bird? Not do that. I need it around. Kind of hide wire, not expose it. Let's put you over here. Put you right there so we get an idea. Where's that cable at? There you are. Stick you right in there. Get in here. There we go. Yeah, it clears, no problem.
Right, cool. It clears. So we're going to build a power station all in there. That's what I'm looking up. So we're going to take all the wires we have here, all there, bound them up real tight, push them all the way up here on a ledge, which I'm going to put in a box right there. It's going to have them into a little box we can make from here. And bind all this up and put this in the box down there. And then we'll just basically put in the liquid nitrogen system in here, and we'll just cover everything in ice and frost. That's exactly how we're going to hook it up. But let's get an idea how this is going to look. Power this up right now. Just put all this stuff in here right now for the time being. I got to come back in and get all this because I ran out of twisters to get all that done. I know it's going to be that much, but it is. And then we have to rechannel all this. So this right here is going to come through here, through a tube that's going to come across here, right across here, and it's going to drop all the tensions there. Right, that's how we're going to do that. Mine, I think my printer is wireless. My printer is wireless. Let me go check out my printer's wireless. It is. I think it is wireless. If it's wireless, I'm connecting my printer wireless. Because right now, keyboard and mouse is all wireless. And the microphone system, this is the microphone system, which I'm about to upgrade to a wireless microphone. So I'm trying to get rid of all the wires. That's the only thing we have hooked in through here. This is just for the light system over here, but I'm not worried about that. Because once this is all powered up, I'll be running over there. So I want to make it with no wires at all, completely wireless. See, to here, to here, to here. Oh, right in there. All right. This cable. We're gonna find a tank. It's not gonna go in there. That one's already corroded. I'm gonna be getting another one. I gotta order, bring it in here. It's a 40-ounce container, which will work perfectly fine for what I gotta do. Excuse me. Oh, can't turn it on without power, bird. Let's get power running. Turn it off. We need a new keyboard. Our keyboard's done. We have jacked this keyboard up. I'm gonna reject this keyboard. I got paint, everything all over it.
I want the same light keyboard I had before. It matches my PC. So I got to pick up some scented trash bags. I'm just going to use the twisters that come in that. Now get everything nice and neat. And then we'll start shoving our wires in our boxes, gluing our boxes in. Of course, we got to paint them up and design them first, and then we'll get them ready. All right, let me see. That's there and there. That's there and there. And this cable has to go somewhere. Bum, 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 bum. Here we go. Here's the cyberpunk popping up. So that one's up and running. That's good. What we have to do now is just basically hide the rest of those cables, get them all tucked up in there nicely, and start building the base and the power supply system. We'll do all that out of cardboard. You don't like to go to this one? Blue? You're not? Gee whiz, and then you go too. I'm sitting there clicking on this remote control like what lights do these go through? The nozzle for that. Why are we doing a hardware survey? For what? Parts work? That's all that needs to be saying, that's on. This is nice and clean. Ba-doo. Right. Cleaned up. On the way. Tidiness, people. Tidiness. I'll keep it clean as much as possible. The desk is very junky. So the bigger the desk, the more it's going to be junkier. Wow. Get that. That's an RGB too. How did you get hooked on that? I'm saying, second hill? Oh, come on. Good God. That makes no sense. You ever something put it on your chair? Like, how in the world? Oh, goodness, man. Alright. That's all done. And once I gotta do it, I'll just flip them up and clean them out. That's easy to do. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. put these spare nuts back. Oh man. Did we? I was about to say, those are waterproof.
What are the odds of that? But it did. Alright, whatever. We'll let that dry out. Wait for a minute. Well, no shoes are cold again. Look at that there. Look at this out.
Some scissors and fix that. Let's repair this one. Apparently with that, my container of brushes that had all that liquid in them, when they fell over, they landed on my lead lights. And I had tape on them to keep them up, and somehow liquid went right into the tape. But those lights are weatherproof, so don't have to worry about that. They weren't, they would have been damaged. I'm gonna pay for those weatherproof ones. My berry scent in the air. I just don't care. I'll plug this in. Because we're going to be working on the next thing. So, come back in. I have to go pick up glue sticks because I only have 3 and it's not going to be enough to finish the cabin. And on top of that, I need to get the lights for this. Oh, control for that. It's supposed to be blue. Solid blue. That goes in the dark. This is for this project. That project right there. Should have that one finished. So, come back in. This is what, wow, tangled around everything over here, like literally. This is what we'll be working on next. So that will be our next project next. I have to go pick up glue sticks because I'm completely out. Well, I got about 4 over there, but that's not going to be enough. Better get them when you have them. And I have to stop in the middle of a build and go, oh, we got to get more sticks. And walk all the way over there to get them. So I'll be working on that thing next. We have to put in a crooked chimney. But before we put the crooked chimney in, we have to paint the in stucco, not stucco, but kind of like caulking, and he used it with a cardboard piece to give it kind of a stucco design for it. So everything that's black has to be in white now. And then we can put in the crooked chimney. So, you know, they're called crooked castles and crooked cottages and all. So to give it a more kind of crooked look to it. We're going to strip the chimney base from the back, and we're going to bring it around, like a loop it around this thing, and it's going to come up and stick out that side right over there. It's going to come out, instead of going straight down like the other one, it's going to come out like a hook. Giving it kind of a Dr. Seuss kind of design to it. The lace up and get you a store, pick up what I need, and see y'all back later on. All right, hope you enjoyed. I got to go. Thank you for your time. Of course, we thank our Lord and Savior for blessing us with the ability and amazing skill levels to do all this, because again, without him, we wouldn't be able to do any of this at all, period. Thank you for your time. Be safe out there, and God bless. Oops, the button.